Welcome to Section 2, Creating a .log file. A .log file is really just a way to keep track of the things that's going on in your project. Like maybe you added something new to the project, maybe you're working with a team and you want to know when someone changed something in the project. A .log file allows everyone to be on the same page. Now we call it a .log file because that's a special kind of file inside of Windows. It is a file that Windows recognizes as being able to write to every time it's open to add a date or time. We're simply going to use that ability for Windows to recognize those files to create our own log files. It'll automatically add the date and time stamp to our log file so that way every time we open it, we'll have a way to recognize what we previously did, or if anyone else opened it, we'll recognize what they were able to do during that time, down to the hour, actually down to the minute. So in the previous video, what we did was we created our project folder. I'm going to go ahead and double click and select and double click my project folder, and then the Explorer is going to open up. I'll get this blank area here. I can see that this is inside of my project folder. As I can see up here inside of this address bar, there's no other folder or file existing in here. It just says project folder, which is great because we didn't add anything in there before, and this is how it should look. We're going to use our technique of right-clicking in here, but just to let you know, when you're inside of a folder, this bar up here, or this ribbon up here, gives you the same access as right-clicking. So when I want to create a new folder, I could click here. I could go here. There's also a way to where if I wanted to create a new folder, I can use the shortcut key. And as you can see, the shortcut key is Control, Shift, and N. That's probably a more efficient way of doing it. If I were to go here, hit Control, Shift, and N, I get the same effects if I were to right-click, go to File, New, and then create a new file. It's much faster doing it with the shortcut key. Whichever way you'd like to do it, it's fine. But we go ahead and going to go ahead and delete this example, but we don't want to create a new folder. We want to create a new file. There's a couple of ways we're going to learn to do that. First, we're going to learn to use our shortcut, which is right-click, New, and Text Document. We'll click on that, and then I'm going to name this my log. Now we have a my log file that we created. That's the first way. The second way is by clicking on the Start menu and typing in Notepad. What you'll get is this Notepad application. You can go ahead and open that up. And then you can go to File and Save. You want to find where you want to save this document. So I'm going to go to the desktop. Let me find the desktop right here. And this is where I put my project, and this is where I would save it. So I'll have to make sure I save this, my log 2. And then I'm going to type .txt. And I hit save. And as you can see, I have 2 log files. This way is much faster than this way, but both of them do the exact same thing. So first, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one because I don't need 2 log files. I select the file, and then I hit the delete key on the keyboard. I'm going to open this one up by double-clicking it. And then the mylog.txt opens up. Now, in order to create a .log file, all I need to do is type these exact words, .log, all capitals. If I were not to do it in all capitals, this does not work. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to close it. So now let's look at what happens when I open up this .log file. When I double click on it, look what Windows did. It automatically put a time date stamp on there. So all I have to do is put a log in here. Once I'm done with that, I can go ahead and save, Control S, or go here to File and Save, and then close it. And then the next time I open it, there will be another time date stamp for the next thing I do. So I'll always keep this log file in my project folder. So every time I make a change, I can put it in the log file. Let me show you what happens when I actually don't type the log exactly like I showed you. So I'm going to make a new file. I'll right click on here, go to new, text document, my log, or how about my not log. And then I'm going to double click in there, type .log, Control S to save, or file save, and close that. Now when I open it up again, as you can see, it doesn't do the same thing because the code is not right. So what we've done is created a functional .log file so we can go ahead and manage our input and log every time we add something to the project. Then we made one that's not quite right because the casing does matter when you're talking about coding or scripting. You always want to manage the case unless the programming language specifically says you don't need to worry about casing. So now that we have our log file, we can actually now start coding. We'll do that in the next section. I'll see you there.